Good Wednesday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Wednesday. Starting off, what is going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Well, as you can see, we have a lot of things going on. Starting off over here with the rainfall, we have rainfall going on throughout the coastal areas, and we do have a mesoscale discussion. For heavy rainfall, areas of flash flooding are possible on an isolated basis this morning, primarily along the coastal areas. And it says recent convection has developed just inland from the Gulf Stream with local rates of a half an inch to 2 inches per hour, noted near Charleston, Georgetown, and areas just east of Wilmington. And these rates may not cause flash flooding on a widespread basis. Some could for urbanized areas. So this is what we're looking at right now in terms of rainfall for the coastal areas and up towards Conway, Marion, Dillon, and up into North Carolina. So make sure that you're watching out for that this morning if you're over here near the coastal areas and the both coastal areas and the inland Grand Strand area. And then as we look over here inside of the Midlands, going on over inside of the Western PD, we have a special weather statement that is for dense fog, dense patchy fog this morning. Some fog development is expected across the region this morning through 9 o'clock. So this is what we're looking at now for dense fog over here in the central Midland area, southern Midland, and that general vicinity. Now, in terms of what's going on, hopefully I can check it out. There we go. Throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall going on throughout Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Have some severe weather going on throughout northern Missouri, even some rainfall in Nebraska, Kansas. And then as you look over inside of Michigan, some more rainfall over in that area. Now, what about cloud cover? We do see some cloud cover in the eastern areas and the more low country areas, but we do see some as well in parts of the upstate, maybe a little bit of the Midlands as well, just due to that dense fog. But for the most part, most of that heavy, dense cloud cover really happening in the eastern areas, just due to that shower and storm activity. Now, what about in terms of cloud cover? Well, if you want to push this forward into later on this morning, going into the afternoon, cloud cover will really continue to build even as you get to around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., all the way to around 9 p.m., where cloud cover activity will continue to kind of just stay with us as we go all the way through to around 12 o'clock in the morning. So, cloud cover activity again, kind of staying more inside of that widespread category throughout the state. Now, what about in terms of our current temperatures? We're talking about 78 in Charleston, 77, Somerville, 75 in Orangeburg, 78, Georgetown, 79 in Myrtle Beach, and 77 in Conway, 75 in Columbia, and 72 in Greenville, Spartanburg, Gaffney, York, even 73 in Lancaster. Now, what about your air quality? Looks like that for the most part we are good, but there is a moderate risk of air quality over there for the Charleston, North Charleston, Berkeley County areas, Florence down through I-95, and then Spartanburg down I-26 towards the I-385 exit. These areas all have a risk of moderate air quality as you move over into tonight. So, if you are inside of that risk of air quality, make sure that you're paying attention for it. High temperatures for today, we're talking about 85 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 90 Columbia, 91 in Orangeburg, and even 90 in Walterboro, 85 Charleston, 86 Georgetown, 85 also inside of Myrtle Beach, 87 in Florence, and 86 in Cheraw, Dillon, 88 Hilton Head Island. Now, what about for your heat index value? Is going to be a bit hot, towards like the southern Midlands and the low country areas, but for the most part, we're kind of just staying just south of 105 degrees throughout this area. Now, what about in terms of winds? Winds are going to continue to be calm, 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe even up to around 12 miles an hour over here towards the coastal areas, just from like the low country coastal areas all the way over into the Grand Strand to around 12 miles an hour. And then if you look at those wind gusts are going to be moving from around 10 miles an hour all the way up to around 20. So wind gust going to be up, not going to be the highest, but definitely going to be up compared to past couple of days. Rainfall wise, we're looking at a good amount of rainfall, 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch in areas like Camden, Sumter, Florence, Moncks Corner, 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch in areas like Hilton Head Island, moving over into Newbury, going over into Rock Hill, quarter of an inch to a half an inch for Greenville, and then also like Greenwood, half an inch to an inch possible in Charleston, And some of these areas could see even more rainfall than that. Just matters if flash flooding does occur. And you can also see some areas that may not even get a single drop of rainfall. That's possible as well. Thunderstorms are possible for today, probably expected for today. In fact, I think we have some thunderstorm activity kind of going on right now, even as we speak, with some of those coastal showers that are ongoing. So thunderstorms are definitely expected for today. Excessive rainfall, the entire state has a risk of flash flooding for today, but if you look down over here towards Charleston, North Charleston, Georgetown, Garden City Beach, these areas have a slight risk of excessive rainfall. That is a 15% risk of flash flooding just due to that morning convection. So if you're in this yellow area here, you have a 15% risk of flash flooding. Everybody else, green, 5%. Now for the crazy score, we're at a 31. Moderate weather intensity, special weather statement over there for the Midland areas, obviously. And then showers and storms going on. And that's really the main reason why we're kind of seeing this score of a 31. Really just due to the conditions. So let's go on now and take a look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Please make sure that you pay attention to that, as that is very important to take a look at. You push this forward into later on this morning going into the afternoon. Shower and storm activity due to the sea breeze moving its way in. Even by 3 p.m., we're still talking about some shower and storm activity that's getting going in the low country, still getting going inside the Grand Strand and even the upstate. Trying to get in on some shower and some storm activity there by 4 p.m. or so. You move all the way into around 7 p.m., 8, 9 p.m., and shower activity now kind of continuing to move its way up towards the north and towards the more North Carolina areas. But it does kind of leave the low country and like the Grand Strand areas as you move later on into the evening hours, going to the nighttime hours. So rainfall activity definitely does continue to kind of move its way up towards the north. And that's kind of the motion for today, from the coastal areas up into the upstate for today. And that's pretty much all that I have to really say there. You can check and see how much rainfall is possible. And, obviously you see a lot of spots may not get rainfall, but you can see a good amount that may get an inch to maybe even close to 2 inches or so. Other than that, that's about all. So I will be back tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. for your Wednesday evening forecast update, your Wednesday evening forecast update. Make sure you're there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. And make sure that you watch out for those storms today. You could have some storm with some gusty winds in it. It's summertime. Those storms could provide some small hail as well, and some localized to maybe even scattered flash flooding. But that's all. I'll be back tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. for your Wednesday evening forecast update.